Hello, I'm Bishop with B Ministries. Now, B Ministries is about bringing truth and bringing awareness to mental health issues through all over. So I address that issues. But today we're going to another level. And another level is I'm attacking this age-old argument about judging. So today's topic, if you got a pen and paper, is judging, to judge the lie or the truth that you have been told or haven't been told. So now we're going to get into this, and we're going to go with some information. And first, before I start with the information, I got to tell you what judging really means. So I went to the dictionary and found out what judging is, and I'm going to read to you what judging is. Judging is a noun. It's a public official appointed to decide the cases in the law. That's a judge, okay? Now, it also is a person that decides the results of the competition or any type of event. That could also be another judge. So you have two instances of judge. You have a judge that's in the courtroom. You also have a judge that's either at a pageant or a show or something. And then the third, you have judging, and that's your everyday judging, like you at work, and someone's work is not up to par. So you're telling that individual, okay, that's not wrong. This is the way to do it here. This is the correct way to do it there. So now you're judging that individual work performance. You also is judging again, is one of your friends are doing wrong, and you know that friend is doing wrong, and it's not according to where he's supposed to live, then you're just simply telling them, hey, I think that's really wrong, and we need to go ahead and get that correct. Also, that can go as an opinion, but also that's still judging. So let's get back to judging. It says it's an opinion or a conclusion, and it's also about judging someone's character. So now, we've had a lot of arguments, and this goes from pastors, this bishops, this deacons, everyday folks. One of the things that they'll say is that, don't judge me, only God can judge. Well, after this message, you can bring to a conclusion that that is an absolute lie. Now, where did that come from? I don't know. But I can tell you I have a hint of where it can come from. If you go to Matthew 7, 1 through 3, it says that. And we're going to go with that real quick. It says in verse 1, do not judge and criticize or condemn others. And this is coming from the Amplified. So that you may not be judged or criticize or condemn yourselves. For as if you judge and criticize and condemn others, you will be judged and criticize and condemn in according with the same measure that you use to criticize that person. Now, here's the important part. Verse 3. Why do you stare from without the very small particle in your brother's eye when you have pretty much the same beam in your eyes or bigger? So that was that argument started at. That argument started that you cannot judge someone because you have issues at your own self, so you can't judge. No one bothered to read 4 and 5. Now, 4 and 5 is some key words in there that's going to help you out. 4 and 5. 4 says, or. That word jumps out right there. Or. So it's telling you something that's getting ready to happen, something that's getting ready to go on. It says another set of instructions that's going to happen. Or, how can you say to your brother, let me get the tiny particles out of your eye, and then the beam of timber that is in yours. You hypocrite. First. Another big, small word. First. So now it's telling you the next command of what's going to happen. It says, first, get the timber or beam of timber out of your own eyes, then, another big word, then you will see clearly to take the particle out of your brother's eyes. So what is that telling you right there? That's telling you that you get your life clean, you get your life straight, you get your house in order, then you can judge someone else, or you can take that small particle out of your brother's eyes. Here's a message for you. Jesus clearly says, do not judge, so that you will not be judged. But whom is he speaking to? See, that's another thing that we as of Christians or non-Christians, we'll take a scripture and we'll take that one or two verse and apply it to whatever we want to apply it to. Get understanding, people. First of all, find out who wrote the book, why they wrote the book, and who the audience were, or who they speaking to at the time that they were speaking. Then you get a lot of answers to the same verse that you're talking about. So he's talking to, in verse 5, he said, you hypocrite. Who Jesus talking to? Is he saying all Christians are hypocrite? Now, he's also telling us to be accountable for what we know. And we have no excuse as to why sin will be presented in our lives. This is consistent with Paul's advice in 1 Corinthians 11, 31 and 32, that we judge ourselves first and will not be judged. As of Jesus said in verse 5, that we should cast the beam out of our own eye, and then we are in a position to see someone else's fault. So you clearly can see right there that you can judge. But don't believe me. Please don't believe me. I want you to believe the word. And I'm going to show you more in the word of what it is. And so as we know in the scripture of God that judge is in Genesis 18 and 25, Judges 11 and 27, 1 Samuel 2 and 10, Psalms 50 and 6, once again Psalms 96 and 13, Psalms 89 and 9, 98 and 9, Isaiah 3 and 13, Isaiah 33 and 22, Jeremiah 11 and 20. Is that enough for you already? Well, let me give you some more. Ezekiel 18 and 32, Ezekiel again 33 and 20, Hebrews 12 and 23, 1 Peter 1 and 17, Matthew 12 and 27. That's a lot of scriptures right there on judging. A very lot of scriptures on judging. So why are we arguing about you can't judge someone? Or what's really behind that? And we're going to get to that in a few minutes. God also set in position as our judge because he is knowing all. So yes, that is true. God judges everyone because he knows all, knows no sin. So being that he is the ultimate judge of us. But on earth, we are capable of judging others. And this is true. And I'm going to really tear this thing apart so you can understand. So now that you'll know better, you'll do better, and you'll quit saying, don't judge me. And I'm going to tell you really behind that thing about don't judge me or don't judge somebody else. And it may hurt your feelings a little bit, but you'll be all right. Because see, I'm going to cut this thing to the core. We're going to get rid of this, and we're going to do better from now on. Now, the scripture clearly shows that throughout time, God has imparted in man the authority to judge. Has given us the authority to judge. So why would you say somebody can't judge you when God gave you authority to judge someone? You can find that in Leviticus 19 and 15, Deuteronomy 1 and 6, Deuteronomy 16 and 18, Judges 2, 16 through 19, 2 Chronicles 19 and 5, Ezra 7 and 25, Isaiah 1 and 17, Ezekiel 23 and 45, John 7 and 24, Romans 2 and 27, and 1 Corinthians 2 and 15, again 1 Corinthians 6, and Zechariah 3 and 7. That's a lot of scriptures. That is a lot of scriptures. So once again, why do people or even leaders would say you can't judge no one and only God's the judge when all these scriptures are saying elsewise? So now who are you going to believe? You're going to believe man or you're going to believe God? Which one are you going to believe? I just want to know. So here, let's go back. God states that he has given us who obey him the authority to judge. Clearly, listen to this. He's given us the authority to judge who, it says, who obey him and his authority. So therefore, if you are obeying God, you're living your life you're supposed to, you're really getting pretty much sin out of your life, you have the ability to judge a person. Okay. Thus says the Lord of hosts, if you shall walk in my ways, and you shall keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge my house. And also keep my courts. And I will give you these places to walk among, these stand by. So he's telling us what we need to do, how we need to get it done. Also in the New Testament, it says we continue to see God's work as he expects us to exercise judgment or judge. Jesus himself criticized the Pharisees for being unable to judge on spiritual things of God and the importance of judging spiritual matters. Judging. So why would you say you can't judge me? Ooh-wee. It's going to get to you later on. Judging. I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you the reason why a lot of people is saying, don't judge me, or you're not supposed to judge. It may hurt your feelings, but you'll be all right. Now, we're going to keep on going to this thing here. And it says the New Testament, once again, says that Jesus himself criticized the Pharisees. Okay? Now, also in Matthew 16 and 3, Luke 12 and 56 and 57, and John 7 and 24. Further, we were told that we are our shame if there is none among us who can judge on the things of God. Now he's saying you're shameful if you're not in a position or you can't judge the things of God. So let's just take, for instance, you know, a brother say he's saved, he living right for God, and so on and so forth. And you're driving with your family. It's about 9, 10 o'clock at night, maybe a little bit more, and he's stumbling out of the club. Literally stumbling out of the club. So he gets to church the next morning and he's really having a hangover. And you go to him and you say, bruh, I saw you stumbling out the club last night, and here you are a leader in the church. We need to get that correct. That's judging. Why? Is because your life is clean. Being that your life is clean, that you're able to judge that individual on how his lifestyle is presented. We got to get this right, people. We really do. You have the authority and you won't even use it. You have the authority, God gave it to you. Not man, but God gave it to you, and you still won't even use it. Why? Tell you in a minute. Tell you in a minute. So now, we're going to go here to also back in the New Testament. It says that judging on spiritual matters and on the weightier of God's law. So we come to this point here. Why would someone say, don't judge a person? The reason why is they got something to hide. They don't want you to know what they're doing. They don't want to get judged themselves. So this mostly comes from supervisors, yes, leaders, as pastors, ministers, evangelists, bishops, whatever you want to call it. This is where it's coming from. They don't want you to bring correction to them, or supervisors, is because they truly believe that correction flows from top to bottom. Correction flows from top to bottom, so therefore you're not in a position to say they're doing something wrong or to judge them. So they use that mechanism to keep you in place, to keep you held bondage, to keep you hostage, to keep you in your place, as they say, so that you will not be able to challenge anyone in authority, even if they're doing wrong. But believe you me, like I said it before, God gave you the authority to judge anyone and everyone in this matter. Now, being that he already gave it to you, are you going to use it or not? Now, we can use it respectfully. And I mean by respectfully is that if you see someone in leadership or anyone else is doing wrong, then you can say, hey, that is wrong. Can we get that right? And let's get it squared away. We can do that. The Bible even had said, if you have an ought with your brother, okay, now we're talking about judging. If you have an ought with your brother, or if you have a disagreement on any matters, that you are to go to that person and you guys to work it out. And then if you cannot work it out, then you are to bring another brother, which is in leadership, to that person and see if you can work it out. And then if you cannot work it out, then you bring it to the head of the house or to the hierarchy, and then you guys work it out from that point. And if you cannot work it out from that point, then that brother or that sister is dismissed. Now you tell me if that ain't judging. You tell me if that ain't judging. So see, sometimes we use it to our advantage. And our advantage is, as long as we're using it to keep you in place, that's what judging means. But when it turns around, if you see me in the street and I'm doing something totally wrong that I'm not had no business doing, and that you come to me and you said, Brother Brown or Bishop or Evangelist Brown, sir, that was really wrong what you said or what you done. You know, the first thing I'm gonna jump off on you, don't judge me. Only God can judge me. What I just did, I'm trying to get you out of my business. Better yet, in 2013, I'm trying not to get you come up on me. So being that I don't want you to come up on me, I'm gonna get you off of me. So the quickest way I'm gonna get you off of me is that I'm gonna tell you, don't judge me. Now, if we go back and we look at Matthew's, it says, when God cited the command not to judge, most people run right to Matthew 7. Why is that so? I just told you. They don't want you to judge them. And being that they don't want you to judge them, they're going to recite and almost word for word Matthew 7, 1 and 3. But they'll never tell you about 4 and 5. So you need to go back and study 4 and 5. So this is how you do that. You hear somebody say that anymore, or they saying, okay, don't judge me. And then you say, where you get that from? Show me in the Bible. Make them show you in the Bible. So then they can pick up their iPad or their phone or even pick up their Bible. And they say, see right here in Matthew 7, 1 and 3, you're not supposed to judge me. Then you just simply tell them, okay, brother or sister, let's go with 4 and 5 and read that and meditate on that too. Since you want to say, don't judge me, God is only the judge. God is the final judge. That is true. But he also gives us the authority to judge. Hey, look at this. Once we're on the subject of judging, didn't he also give us charge over the angels and to judge the angels? He also said, spirit judge another spirit. So how come you're going to use that when you want to? See, I'm going to bust you in your mouth. I'm going to let you know exactly what it is. See, I'm not going to hide from you. I ain't going to run from you. I'm about 6'3", about 250, man. So I ain't going to run from you. I ain't got no need to run. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you what the Bible says. So see, don't pick and choose in the Bible. The Bible is true from front to rear. Yeah, okay. I don't like some parts of the Bible myself. But I have to line up with the Bible every day. The Bible is the only true source that we will ever have. Only true source that we will ever have. And I can never be above the Bible. I can never be above the Word. So you can judge me too. Now, as you can see this taping here, yes, I did. I sent some of this to some leaders. Never heard back from them. Never heard back from them. It was one of them that he had said it on a social media that you're not supposed to judge one another and only judge, God can judge. Well, I sent him all of the information, all of the findings and everything. Never heard back from him. But, you know, I know he was on social media throughout the day. And so I knew he got my message and stuff. So that tells me something right there. That's really harmful to the body, is that he know better, but still yet he won't do better. So let's talk about judging. Now, God gonna judge him on that. Because see, he was presented the case. He didn't put up an argument or anything. So two things about it. He knew it was wrong and refused to correct it, or he just wasn't gonna receive it. Why? Is because I am under the title that he holds. Whew, that's another teaching altogether right there. I mean, another one altogether. So yeah, it's gonna be some folks mad, but I'm gonna bust you right in the mouth because I ain't playing with this. This is a mission. It's got to be done. It's got to be told. And being that it's got to be done, we're gonna get it right. And we're gonna get it right the right way the first time. And let's stop playing around. Let's stop playing around with God's words. Let's stop playing around with saying, God told me this and God told me that, when you know doggone well that God didn't tell you nothing like that. If it doesn't line up with the word, people, if somebody says something, including me, check me. Oh, I love the comments. You can reach me. I'm gonna tell you how you can reach me. You can email me at bishop@jbministries.com. That's bishop@jbministries.com. Or you can go to my website, which is www.jay-ministries.com. That's jbministries.com. I'm not going to run from anyone. I'll sit down and I'll talk with you. I'm not going to debate with you. It's because the Bible is the final. I'm only going to present to you what the Bible says. The Bible says you can judge. And being that you can judge, you surely can do that. And I'll prove it to them every single time. Now, here's some things that you also got to be careful about. Because, see, I've been busting you in the mouth with about this judging thing and that you can judge. But now I'm going to read this to you, and I want you to be very careful about you doing it. When citing God's command not to judge, people often refer back to, again, Matthew 7 and 1. However, let's look at the complete scripture in context. People always repeat things what they hear. They always repeat things what they hear. And some leaders, they may have had that thing passed down from years to years, passed down to them, and they never checked it. Why? It's because they had hold that person in such high regard. They hold a person more higher regard than they held the Bible. So they took the word of that individual over the Bible, instead of going back and look for themselves to find out that if it's true. I'll give you an example. Since we're on this trip about this, show me in the Bible where it says God said, you take one step and I'll take two. It sounds good, but is that biblical? No, it ain't. So let's go ahead and look at this right here. It said, don't be afraid to ask God for more understanding. See, that's the thing about it. When Jesus said, and he gave us the authority that he has, didn't he or didn't he not? So he didn't say, brother so-and-so is going to have more authority than sister so-and-so. Or he didn't say that I'm going to give this group of guys more than I'm going to give this group of guys. No, he gave every last one of us the equal amount of power. Here's the point. How are you doing to use that power? Are you using that power? Or are you letting somebody else use your power? That means that they're telling you what to do, how to do it, and you never look in the Bible to realize what's going on or what's true and what's not true. So, when you're judging people, first we need to get ourselves clear. You need to get your life clear. You need to do things in order and decent in order. And you need to do the right thing. Now, what you cannot do. Here's what you cannot do. You should not be hypocrites when judging others. Okay, I'll give you an example. I just can't finish drinking a 40, take a Tic Tac or two, and see you stumbling on the boardwalk and down chastising you for being drunk on the beach. That's a hypocrite. Or better yet, I can't be sleeping with my brother's wife, and then I see you in the mall and you checking out this female. That's a hypocrite. Or I can't be lying to you and tell you don't lie to other people. That's a hypocrite. So that's what Matthew 17 was saying. Don't be a hypocrite. People, you got to understand this thing. It's got to open up to you. See, I understood it. Why? It's because I asked God, hey, okay, I talk to God like this. Look here, man. I need you to clarify this thing for me. I need you to give me more wisdom on that. I need you to get this thing straightened out for me. Every word I needed to jump off this page so I can get some more understanding about it. So hypocrite really means is that in Matthew, don't judge your brother unless you get the stuff cleared up out of your life first. That's what it really means. Now, we are not to judge according to the flesh. Now, we live in the flesh every day. We fight with this flesh every day. So therefore, we're not to judge according to the flesh. Okay, so I don't like because you overweight. So I'm going to judge you because you're overweight. Or I'm just mad at you because, see, you did somebody else I know wrong. We do that all the time. We take up somebody else's offense. So my partner and you had words. So my partner and you had words. So now I'm in a position, I'm in authority, okay? So I'm going to use that to judge you. So now you come into church and see, I know you from the outside. So now I'm judging you accordingly. So now you're not allowed to be in a certain ministry or whatever, is because you and my partner had words. Judging in the flesh. Be careful not to do that. We should not judge anyone on an eternal destiny. I'll give you a perfect example. Like my family was one of my family members that had died, I think, around the age of 63. Now, for 63 and 3/4 years, he raised pure hell. He was the life of the party. You knew exactly when he coming in, you heard his voice, and he was a big man too. He was about maybe 6'5", 6'6". So he was a really, really big man. And he raised pure D hell for 63 and 3/4 of his life. He got saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Spirit, roughly maybe 3 weeks to a month or so before he passed on. Okay, so I had some family members that said right off the bat, he ain't going to heaven. Huh? He ain't going to heaven because he only been saved for a few weeks or so. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you've been doggone saved for doggone 2 minutes. I don't care if you've been a dope addict for doggone all your life. And you almost on your last breath. And you said, Lord, forgive me for all I've done. I receive you in my heart right now as Lord and Jesus of my life. You are the ruler of me. I believe that you came and you died and for me, that I may have eternal life with you. And as soon as you said life with you, you died. You're going to heaven. Why? It's because you already accepted Christ. But who am I to say you ain't going to heaven because you've been a hell raiser for all your life and you only been saved for 2 minutes? So don't be careful to do that. You are not the judge and jury of someone's eternal faith. You cannot tell somebody that they're going to heaven or hell just because they're doing this or doing that. You're not supposed to do that. So that's one thing, that 3 reasons right now that you got to be careful when you start talking about judging people. And the 4th one is that you should not base judgment on malice, lies, or evil misrepresentation. Okay, that brings me to 3 spirits that really kills the church today. That's Absalom, Koran, and Jezebel's spirit. That's another teaching too. Boy, that thing hurts people. But what it's really saying is that just because I have a whole bunch of tattoos on my arm and on my neck and everything, just because I have long hair and I roll with the hell angels for 50 years of my 60 years of being alive, is that now because you're gonna judge me of my past, misrepresentation. I'll give you an example. There was a doctor, and he was a great doctor, and he still is. And he had his doctor outfit on, which is his coat, suit and tie, and all that stuff like that, and everything was covered up. And he was well respected and went into a restaurant to go and eat with his nice attire on, and they greeted him really well. I mean, really well, gave him the best seats and all. And then he came in the next week and he was out of uniform or out of his doctor's outfit, and all his tattoos and everything was showing and everything. And they asked him if he could sit way in the back. Same guy. He was in uniform and out of uniform, and they judged him by misrepresentation. Now, you also can doggone judge somebody wrongly about a lie. And that's also once taking somebody else's offense. Like, for example, I told a lie on someone in church or out of church. And then the leadership believed that lie and then judged the persons on that other person lie. That happened before too. We're not gonna get into that, but don't judge somebody else on somebody else's lie. Now that you heard the information on judging, what are you going to do? Are you going to get it right? Are you going to repent and get it right? Are you going to be one of those leaders or one of those supervisors, just say, whatever, I'm going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and why I want to do it? That's fine. But you cannot say that you've not been warned. You cannot say that I didn't tell you so. You cannot say that I didn't prove it to you, that you can judge, and you do judge every single day. If you take a note of your life, if you take a serious note of your life for one day and write down how many times you had an opinion, how many times did you judge, how many times that you suggested, how many times that you corrected, it would probably be well over 100 times. Easy. So we got to do better than that. We really do have to do better than that. And stop saying somebody can't judge you. Because the person who's saying that has something to hide that they don't want you to know, or they don't want to be the light shined on. You know, like a dark room, and you walk in and flip the light on and all the roaches get to scattering. That's really what it is. They don't want you to do that. Or they've been doing it for wrong so long and that they don't want to be corrected now. How they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, that dog don't hunt either. So being that he don't hunt, man, let's get it right. This is Bishop from B Ministries, and you can holler at your boy. I'm at jbministries.com. That's J-A-Y, the letter B, ministries.com. Or you can go on my blog. And my blog is Still Standing Radio Show. That's www.stillstandingradioshow.com. I got a lot of messages on there, and we're going to get some to another one at another time. But I'm going to tell you, man, it's been great. I spent a lot of time getting into that because I heard too many leaders. I heard too many supervisors on social media and all that's saying you can't judge. And I bet you, I'm not going to say I bet you, but either any one of them that's seen this or any of them that really wants to sit down, Skype, Google Hangout, or whatever, I'm available. I'm available. We can sit down like men, and we can sit down and navigate this and come to a clear understanding what the Bible say and not what man say. And the Bible has the last word in everything. It's cut and dry, whether you like it or not, whether you have feelings or not. The Bible is true, and we must line up. This is your boy Bishop from B Ministries, and I'm out till next time. Holla.